How do you react when the person you promised your life to decides yours is worth less than her fleeting happiness? The screen of her phone glowed in the dark of our Chicago bedroom, a tiny, toxic beacon at 2 a.m. I saw my wife, saw her silhouetted against it, a faint smile on her face that wasn't for me. It was a smile I hadn't seen in years. A knot of ice formed in my stomach as I pretended to be asleep, my heart hammering against my ribs. I'd felt the distance growing between us, a cold front that had moved into our Lincoln Park brownstone. But this was different. This was a secret world unfolding just inches from me. She typed one last message, and the smile widened. I held my breath, fighting every impulse to snatch the phone to demand answers. The finality of her soft sigh as she put the phone down felt like a death sentence. I knew, with a certainty that chilled me to the bone, that my life was no longer my own. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. The humiliation was a physical thing. It started as a quiet shame that I'd let our marriage get to this point. Sarah had always been ambitious, a polished real estate agent who moved through the world with a confidence that bordered on arrogance. I, a structural engineer, had always been her steady foundation. But lately, her behavior had grown erratic. There were late nights she blamed on client dinners on Rush Street, credit card receipts from hotels like the Peninsula that she claimed were for conferences. She'd become a stranger. Her words clipped and cold, her eyes sliding past me as if I were a piece of furniture. The villains, her and this faceless man, felt untouchable, wrapped in a bubble of their own deceit. I felt myself breaking. One night, after she'd stormed out over a simple question about her day, I collapsed onto the floor of our walk-in closet, the scent of her expensive perfume choking me. The loyal, loving husband was gone, and in his place was a man hollowed out by betrayal. That's when the engineer in me took over, the part of me that designs, plans, and builds. But this time I would be designing a demolition. The first step was proof. I installed a keylogger on her laptop, a simple piece of software that felt like a profound violation, but I was past caring. The password was Mark_1, and just like that, I had a name. Mark was a developer she worked with, a smug, silver-haired predator I'd met once at a company party. His condescending handshake now felt like a declaration of war. Their emails were sickeningly sweet, but it was the text messages synced to her laptop that laid the plan bare. They weren't just cheating, they were planning a future. My future, or rather the end of it. He's worth more with a full policy payout, Mark had written. Sarah's reply, a tragic accident is cleaner. A fall during one of his site inspections, maybe. Those places are so dangerous, they were talking about my death, my accidental death. The casual cruelty of it stole my breath. I sat there in the dark, the glow of the screen illuminating their words, and something inside me didn't just break. It turned to steel. My revenge would be a structure of my own design, meticulous, legally sound, and socially devastating. I spent weeks gathering evidence, printing every email, every text message, every hotel bill.